I have to call out our friend KB here because what he's doing is so pathetic. And he's making shit up.
I'm going to be a defender of Kevin. So
sure.
I'm going to bring you two together. That's what I want to do.
And I've said it many times. I'd be happy to go back on MLC again. I do not want him to pay me a dime. Kevin, never pay me any fucking money because as soon as Kevin gives you money, he controls you, which is weird. It's almost like he's a failed cult leader. Telling people who they can talk to, that's Scientology shit. When you're like, okay, Ray DeVito, you can't talk to Carl anymore because Carl once did a live stream at the same time that I was on. All right, let's watch this real quick. I have a few comments to make about our buddy Kevin, and he's way out of line on this one.
To get into this thing.
I mean, people are like, why do you have a problem with Carl? And like people ask me, why do I have a problem with Carl? Not because Carl said going after somebody else's money is an act of violence.
Yeah, and Patrick goes after mine all the time.
Carl's doing a point double point every Friday, literally trying to affect my money. It's not working, but he's doing it.
All right. So what I said, I have to say this again because it's gotten so convoluted and everyone's changed the story. It wasn't about strikes. It was the fact that Stuttering John went to Patreon and tried to have my Patreon removed because it was connected to our Discord and there were gamer words that I didn't write in our Discord server. So that was against Patreon's terms of service. So Karen Stuttering John went to Patreon and tried to get my main source of income taken away from me. Like actively trying behind the scenes to do that. That's a dick move. If I go live on YouTube at the same time someone else is live on YouTube, that's not a dick move. Anyone can go live on YouTube at any fucking time. You don't own a slot. No one owns a certain time slot. If I'm live 4 o'clock on Fridays is what works.
But we're working on it.
Do you purposely go on people can obviously go live when they want to go live, but did you consciously go live at 4 o'clock to like compete with that or no? You're just like, like, this is just the time that it's convenient for me to podcast.
For him and 7 other people.
Right, yeah. So here's how it went down is we had this idea, Point Dabble Point, a weekly roundtable discussion, because there's so much going on with Stuttering John. It's hard to keep up with everything. Let's get people who are paying attention to sit down for a couple hours and discuss everything that happened that week. And I immediately talked to Shuli about it because I wanted to make sure that he could be involved because Uncle Rico's show covers John more than anyone. Of
course.
And so him and I talked about when the time would be most convenient. And he was nice enough to say, hey, we can do this on Fridays because normally they were doing Uncle Rico's show on Fridays. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, you know what? Let's do this instead on Friday. So it worked out that Bob could be there and Mike and Shuli and I could be there and you. And yeah, we had Tukey and Cardiff. We had a lot of different people on that show. Mm-hmm. And so that was the time that it made sense. But for Kevin to say that I'm affecting his income or I'm purposely trying to affect his income, how fragile is your revenue stream if Carl in Rochester can just go on YouTube?
I think he's doing it for content.
Yeah, I know. He's full of shit.
You guys share some of the same fans, but like, I think you guys are good together. So I want you back on MLC and
Matchmaker Ray.
I think you guys are good together. So, yeah, this is content for his show. But also, if you are upset that another show's on at the same time, and you do think that, then don't mention it because then people might go over there and watch that show. If you're like,
Ray, that's a solid point.
I think Ray got yelled at for that yesterday, didn't he? Didn't you mention that we were on or something like that? And they're like, don't say that.
You know who you should not check out.
Yeah, that's like if an exciting playoff game's going on. It's like, I can't believe it. They actually came back and scored 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes. But anyway, stay here and listen to me. And it's like, right. No, now I want to go see this amazing game that you're talking about.
So let me just play this clip right here because I found this to be
now
kind of
Carl's
annoying.
On the point dabble point to fuck with my money. But I'm supposed to be like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. And they learned it from watching you, Chad. That's cool. That's cool. I'll snipe Kevin's show at 4 o'clock. Carl, I'll be sniping your show with whatchamacallit on Saturday, with Ray DeVito on Saturday.
And by the way, you can if you want to. You just got to sign up for our Patreon.
Them to let him know, like, that it's behind a paywall.
But he can pay me money and he can snipe us if he wants to. I don't snipe Kevin. I never have. I don't snipe anyone.
I don't.
So the fact that Kevin's saying that I'm sniping him at 4 o'clock is not true. I always just do my own show. That's what I've always done. I prepare for a show. I do my show. If someone snipes me, they can. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
And you know what this also does? This is a nice commercial for Kevin, because now people are going to check out MLC every day at 4 o'clock.
Well, now that you made it a commercial, maybe they will.
There you go.
So get your
Hold on, listen to this. This is ridiculous.
Moderators ready to report me.
So, Kevin, I don't have moderators, and I've never reported anyone. I don't do that. So Kevin's trying to change this whole subject as I'm sniping him, but if he snipes me, I'm going to get my moderators and report him. None of this is true. He's gaslighting his audience as he always does. And this is why we had a falling out in the first place, because talk about taking money away from someone. He told Stuttering John not to do my show. Yes. And he told Stuttering John that I should pay him more money. And so I said, Kevin, that's a fucked up thing to do. We had this all scheduled. It was all ready to go. And then Kevin quickly changed
played dumb about it.
Yeah, he totally changed what my argument was by saying, well, I just saw you were talking shit about him online, so I let him know you were talking shit about him. No, that's not what you did. You told him not to do my show. You told him to take more money from me. Very different than what you're explaining here.
You fucking pieces of shit. I can't.
What's that?
When can you do MLC this week? I'll set it up.
You'll set it up? All right, I'll come on. I'll come on. I got to do Rock Bottom, though, too. I got to schedule that.
Yeah, but
let's do Rock Bottom first, and then I can go on MLC. Right. Or what? Maybe better to do Rock Bottom after MLC. We can talk about.
That sounds good, man.
What happened?
Why did you have me on that show, Ray?
Can't get out. I don't even want out, but I can't get out. That's how fucked up this thing. I want in, but I can't. Even if I wanted out, I couldn't get out even if I wanted to. So I'm fucked.
I do feel Kevin on that. I feel like I'm stuck in this thing I can't get out of. I'm like I'm in this downward.
Get out whenever you want. It's fine. Yeah. Kevin also likes to say that I'm always bragging how good I'm doing, which is not true at all. This is, again, just something he's making up. Carl goes around telling everyone how great he's doing. No, actually what I said was that I'm happy and I enjoy what I do for a living. That's what I said.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. That's how I am. I have to play this other clip here, and I'm sure you're going to have a different opinion than me on this one, Ray. But this is yesterday's show with Kate Meany. And so at this point in the show, Kevin is telling Ray, I'll never pay you again. You're doing Carl's show, and I control you, and I get to tell you what you can and can't do. And again, Ray, props to you for coming on the show today, because he was really badgering you to not do this. And so this is Kate Meany's take.
Ray, you're not making a smart financial decision. This is not financially sound for you, because you're going to go on Carl's show and then, you're going to create some tension between you and Kevin. And then when you come back on Kevin's show, he's not going to be willing to pay you.
Kate Meany, you're a fucking moron. You don't know anything that you're talking about. You have no personality. I don't know why you're on any of these shows except for the fact that your father was funny. But other than that, there's no reason why you're on these shows. You suck at this. And she goes, this is a bad decision for you, Ray. Don't you want to keep getting paid by Kevin, who lords it over you every chance he gets? No. What Ray should do is be on as many shows as possible. He's promoting his podcast. He's promoting his stand-up. He's got dates. He's got a dry bar special. This is what you do. You don't work for Kevin Brennan.
You know what's interesting? Like this week, that special came out. I didn't know that they were releasing it for free. Yeah. So that should be like the highlight of my week, that this thing gets 100,000 views in a couple days. And this is what I'm in the middle of.
I know, right? We should be celebrating. We should be celebrating the dry bar special, watching Ray's comedy. But I know that you're friends with Kate and you have Kate on your show, but she is devoid of a personality. If you're going to start doing podcasting and shit, fake it. Pretend you're interesting. Just so maybe you'll fool a couple people, because you're fucking nothing.
Come on, that whole data point thing, you don't find that fascinating? Ugh. Like the one thing that she does have in her favor is she doesn't really have a filter. She'll say whatever.
And then tell you to take it down because she doesn't want it up anymore.
Well, that's
great. That's fun.
So you're going to be in deficit.
When he made a thing about paying me, I sent him the money back. Check your Venmo, Kevin. I sent you the money back.
I do recall that he did that.
Okay, Ray, how about send all the other money back that I paid you?
What a fucking asshole. So Ray goes, hey, listen, you got a problem? Here, take your fucking money back. I don't need to be bossed around.
I don't have the money to give back to him.
Well, that's a dick move right there, to like pay you for something that you guys agreed to do and then say, give me back that money then. It's like, no, this was a transaction that has already taken place. It's over. What are you talking about?
Well, you guys are going to hash it out this week on MLC.
I hope so.
Yeah, you're going to hash it out. this week on MLC. It'll be a good episode. So. You guys are great together.
That would be fantastic.
It's going to be a big happy family.
That's right. We'll probably, I know that Kevin's a very reasonable person. I'm sure he'll admit what he did wrong and we'll talk through it and everyone will be happy at the end. I'm sure that's how it'll go down.
Who are these podcasts?